Hey guys, welcome to the stream. I'm
Hello.
Talion. There's Luke. Uh, and yeah, we're back for more murders on the Yangtze River. Hello, radio. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, let's get right to it. I guess last time we had some fun stuff happening. Oh,
We had
I
some
honestly
fun stuff
completely
happening.
forgot that we ended on the bad end.
We ended on the bad ending, but it's okay. We figured it out. We had a moment of clarity and we know exactly what's going on and
Oh
what's going to
no.
happen. We've connected the pieces. And I'm so
Um,
excited to get back to this.
yeah. Yeah, so we had a whole weird dream sequence thing, and then we're back to investigating
We are
the mystery
still in the
from
dream
3 years
sequence.
ago. Now we're still in our memory, reliving the past.
Still
Um,
in the dream sequence.
yeah. At some point, we have to get out of the dream sequence and cross-examine that parrot, right?
This item made me realize
Yes. Well,
how
okay.
the killer suspended the dagger.
Here's the thing. Now, let's see. Yes, this item made me realize. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing, gang.
Yeah,
This can I drop my brainwave, my galaxy brain?
absolutely, and yes, this absolutely tracks with your theory. We're still in
Okay,
the dream.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
so we're this is a flashback to 3 years ago. We're back in the investigation of Brian's murder. So yes, we're
yeah,
still
so
in the dream.
technically we are in our mind palace right now,
Yes.
and we've sort of floated, whether this is literally what happened in the past or if this is just the mind palace
Yeah,
representation.
like a
And
recreation of
I
an
think
alternate reality.
I think it's the flashback version because Shen can't solve this here in his mind palace. He can't solve this with only the information that he had 3 years ago. That's just
Yeah.
that's just not how this would work structurally. Like why even bother with the book and the publishing house if Shen had all of the information he needed? So I think that this is in fact what literally happened, which is why it's interesting that Shen, when we went into the police station, Shen starts with, "Oh, this is a bad memory."
Yeah.
Because like we figured it'd be because, here's the morgue or something. Here's here's Shen seeing his brother's corpse, which would definitely be a bad thing.
Yeah.
That would be a distressing thing, but we haven't seen that. So here's what I think. I think Shen, who is currently kicking ass at all of this clue finding and mystery solving,
And so
I
by the
think
way,
Shen is successful.
the yeah, what did I miss when they were trying to disprove the murder hypothesis? So far I think we've gotten as far as proving that there was a contraption to do
Yes,
the locked room
we've
mystery.
proven the first
That
contraption.
yeah, that they locked the door from outside and then used a key to pull the or used a contraption to pull the key back into the room and into his hand. So we
We've
proved
proven the
that, and
first
now we're trying to
contraption.
prove how they dropped the knife on him. So this is contraption number two, and
Yes,
yeah, we can go
contraption
into
number
theories.
two. Yes, yes. So here's the thing. Here's what I think is happening. Shen is going to be successful at proving that his brother was murdered, but we're gonna get the wrong person. And that wrong person is the landlady, Miss Cheng. Because here's the thing. Last time we left off, I was like, okay, hot air balloon. You've got this asbestos mesh, you've got a candle, you can float up the knife, and then it'll eventually fall and drop. But actually, what it is a paper lantern, a Chinese paper lantern, which is to say that thing that we have this important memory with our brother of floating Chinese lanterns. We have that whole picture and everything. And that's going to make it look like it's a Chinese suspect, which is to say, not our two very suspicious British boys.
Yep.
Um, and also last time, Shen established, he's talking to the cops. He's like, okay, so my brother was paralyzed. What if he was paralyzed with something that can't be detectable by current forensics? And I'm like, oh, because Miss Cheng does all of that Chinese herbal medicine.
Yeah, I was definitely
gonna be the
wondering like
implication.
how that's going to become relevant because it's been mentioned so many
How
times
that
already.
becomes relevant.
But yeah, that
Yes,
makes perfect sense.
It's going to be she has this the ability to make some mysterious concoction that we wouldn't be able to detect. There's probably going to be some racism in play, and
Yep.
also, she saw those two guys following our brother, but according to the cops, who may or may not be complicit, nobody else saw them. So that
Yeah,
makes
so that's
her
like
look
super suspicious. Yeah, she's just making things up to try to,
Yes.
you know, divert blame from herself, right?
Exactly. And finally, we found in the notes that she has a terminal illness that's about going to kill her a year from the 3 years flashback. So
Yeah.
like it could very easily be that we get her arrested and she dies in prison, you know, like we just frame an innocent woman. And like you remember Shen had that like panic in the Afu case where he's like, oh shit, that magician girl didn't do it. Let's run after them. Like, I think Shen messed up big and he knows that it's not what he solves here isn't the full story. And that's why we're here in the Golden Words. That's why we're going to this publishing place. We found something in the book that's like, maybe we can finally clear that poor old lady's name.
Yep.
So, it was a real. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I absolutely support that theory. And yeah, especially the phrasing here of this item. This item made me realize. Like we were thinking it was just gonna be, you know, like some evidence, but no, it's like here's a separate thing that just gives me an idea of how someone could have done this. Which would, of course, be our paper lantern photo.
Our paper lantern, the sky
I think it
lantern.
makes all of the sense. Let's go for it.
Yes.
Let's redeem ourselves from the bad end.
Redemption.
Mr. Shen's suggestion.
Yes.
Yes.
Along with the dagger, it took off.
And yeah, if you look at the bottom of the lantern, it looks exactly like that mesh thing.
It looks exactly like that. But you're right, Officer Jones. This photograph is the contraption.
He means the lantern in the photo.
Thank you, Sergeant Gaunt.
That idea does have a touch of imagination to it.
But can a lantern truly carry a dagger and take off?
And we've heard that it's a very light dagger. Did they mention in like that flashback, like what amount of weight the lanterns could carry? I don't think they did, but that would be a funny thing to kind of foreshadow.
That would have been convenient. Now remember, Shen, this sky lantern can carry exactly this many pounds, just in case it ever comes up.
At room temperature, air density
oh look
is
at that.
of a pound per
Sergeant
cubic foot,
Gaunt.
while hot air in the lantern is 600
Coming here with
Dang.
science.
He just pulls those numbers off the top of his head.
Yeah, he's like, I have a doctorate. You don't know my life.
35 cubic feet.
Oh, is he just doing all that math in his head?
Its own weight, can lift an object weighing up to 9.17
Well, I guess
ounces.
we can just do the math on the fly.
All right.
The dagger weighs 5.64 ounces, requiring only 24 cubic feet of lantern volume to lift.
Sergeant Gunn is just fully on our side now. He's like, you know what? Science checks out.
Sergeant Gaunt's calculations are precise.
I'm even more suspicious of him now. That was certainly something to pull out, but...
Never thought Sergeant Gaunt's math skills were so deep and unbelievable.
Just a bit of a private hobby, you know.
So why
He's
wasn't
like, I'm
there a
allowed to
lantern found at the crime scene?
Because it burned.
Because it burned up. Contraption, Part 2.
Okay, well, this is obviously part of it, and the burned remains are obviously part of it, too.
Yep.
Okay, come on.
The burned paper. And then I think the skylight is the last one.
Yeah,
because
because
it was right
it would
above the
hit the
skylight, so
skylight and fall.
Mushes.
Yeah.
And it causes the candle to ignite the
Yep.
lantern. Yep.
No?
No? Overlooked something.
How were the scorch marks on the end of the dagger handle caused? Oh, a candle.
Just a candle.
Yeah, I think we just need a hand. It's probably
Okay.
not the skylight then. Or actually, I
Okay, yeah,
probably
no,
need
that's
to take
fair.
That off.
We've got the paper, we've got the
Um,
mesh,
Would it
we've
just
got
be
the
one
candle.
of these candles, or do we have? So also, what
Do
is
we have
this
any
all
other
about?
candles?
I think maybe we can just take those candles and be like, it was another candle.
Mhm.
What's that gonna be? I don't know.
Well, we do have
Also,
the
what is
bottle
that
of
missing
kerosene.
book? Mm,
The missing book, we don't know what's up with that yet. I am going to note we have this bottle of kerosene. So if you put kerosene on the paper lantern, you could cause it to ignite.
Well, that's a great point,
once
actually.
Yeah. So I think it might be that rather than
Yeah,
the
so
candles on the
the
floor.
candle is just implied.
Yeah.
We just assume it's there. There we go. Yes,
got
you're
it.
right.
Yeah.
The asbestos mesh serves as the base support for the lantern, with a stone wax as the heat source. This partially burned piece of paper should be part of the lampshade. On the lab table, there's a stack of identical, large, lightweight sheets of paper.
I didn't ken what method the killer used to completely burn the lampshade like that.
I believe the lampshade must have been brushed with kerosene. When the flames spread, it could burn down the entire sky lantern.
No wonder there were paper ashes on your brother's
He's
body.
just like immediately on board. He's like, yeah, that must have been it.
The
Oh,
position where
right.
the lantern hangs from the ceiling was not controllable.
I mean, if you floated it up.
Well, it doesn't necessarily float straight up,
You
but
can
I
if
feel like that
you,
would be not that difficult to set up. But I
Yeah.
don't.
Everybody knows that paper lanterns fly to skylights in specific. It reminds them of their native habitat.
How did the killer ensure that the falling dagger would definitely stab the victim? Besides, about the death time delayed, how did he control the timing of the dagger's descent?
I mean, I don't think they would have needed to time it that precisely.
It wouldn't have
but
had to be super precise.
Yeah. It just
There
had to be
should
like
another
when they were
mechanism
gone.
at the scene, composed of a
third
sky lantern and
contraption.
some other items.
More contraptions.
More contraptions.
Huh.
Okay, so we've got the skylight, I think, is one of them.
Yeah, I guess.
Because we need to get it
I mean,
to
maybe
the
it's just
skylight.
because maybe it's just because it's like the highest point that it would float to, but that doesn't really make sense because it could still hit the ceiling before it got there.
It could still hit the ceiling
And
before
that
that.
would-
So the other thing I'm wondering is the chair available? Is that the autopsy?
Yeah, this is, I think, the autopsy.
Can we pull up the autopsy?
I don't think that
Okay, because
says
the thing
anything.
that I'm thinking,
the fluffy one has
is-
arrived.
the chair, what if you floated the lantern up first and then positioned the chair, just dragged him in the chair under it, But I don't see the chair as an option. Okay.
Like, I think they wouldn't have just, they wouldn't have like set up or rather gotten the lantern up to the top first, because then it would have burned like immediately. They would have had to set it up remotely and then leave while it floats up.
Yeah, while it's still floating. Yeah, no,
So yeah,
I
they
do
wouldn't have been able
agree
to-
about that.
Hmm.
Okay, so I am wondering about like gusts, maybe, because
Yeah,
like
if there's some
if
kind of draft through the skylight. I don't think so, though.
Yeah. They
Like,
they
we
said
didn't
that
have
the
any
skylight
indication of that.
was closed and like rusted. So, sort of suggesting no. The thing that I am wondering, I guess, is which are the ones that have not been used in contraptions yet?
So we've used the candles, we've used the
We've
reel,
used
we
candles.
sort of kind of used the telegraph machine, but then unused it. These we've technically used.
Technically,
but
yeah.
I don't know. This and this, obviously, we've already used. I don't know what the heck the deal is with these books.
Yeah, I don't. Okay,
This
your
we
head
just
is
used-
sort of blocking.
Oh,
What's that
sorry,
one?
yeah. I'm
No,
gonna.
it's cool.
This one is the kerosene lamp. But note that it also has a string. Several
Yeah.
long cotton threads.
Yeah, so if
Which
you
makes me
use
wonder if
the
that could be
threads
something.
to like
Yeah,
guide it,
something is like. Yeah.
like what if you just put some threads like in such a way that if it drifted too far, like they would essentially triangulate on a location, and you tied them over 3 different places across the room, and since they're soaked in kerosene, they'll ignite when the paper lantern does.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
you just And then what's our last thing?
So I guess this would be something that it was like tied to. Would it be the school again or something? That would be my guess, at least.
Yeah, maybe.
Or actually,
Maybe
there were like
that
weird
one?
marks on the chair. I wonder if maybe something could have been tied to there, but I don't think that's it.
Yeah, the chair
I think the marks on the
itself,
chair
we
were
don't-
like scratches from like him scratching at it or something.
Yeah, and we don't have the
We
chair
don't
as
have
an
the chair.
option. So
I would maybe try
I'm almost
the stool then.
maybe. Yeah, the thing is, I can't think of the book. Maybe it is the book because okay, hear me out. What if the book was one of the tethering points, and the reason they took the book was because the it had burn marks, and it's like, well, that would have been weird. That would have been a weird.
But they did this.
thing.
They would have done this
So
right
they-
before they left. So like
Well, okay.
they set it up
here's-
to do the contraption when they were out. So I think they
They set
wouldn't
it up to do the
come back
contraption
after
while
that.
they were out, and we don't know when the ink happened. But here's what I'm wondering: what if the proposal that we get is, okay, the book had, a scorch mark in a way that wasn't maybe like immediately obvious? Because like, okay, if you wanted to use a book to like tether a string, right? You could close the book around the string.
Yeah.
That would mean that the scorch marks would be like in the pages and not necessarily immediately evident from the spine. And then the argument I think that would be making is that the killer,
I don't know. I feel
af-
like it would have done more than that. I feel like it would have actually like just set all the books on fire.
it's like it depends on what kind of burn it is. There are ways to do like chemical fires that are like the thing that is soaked in the thing.
This isn't a chemical fire. This is a cotton thread.
But it's kerosene.
True.
Like a small fire
Which still makes me think that
with a chemical
if the
experiment.
kerosene had like gotten on the book, that would have lit the book on fire too. Are we
I
talking about the
think-
contraption being at ceiling level? The lantern would have gone up to the ceiling, but it could have
and
been.
they had this very specific point about you would need a ladder, and there isn't a single ladder in this entire building. So they're trying to rule that out. But like, here's why I think the book is important
like,
because
they probably could have just like tied. Wait, I was gonna say they could have tied something to the skylight latch, but that's obviously impossible. They still would
like
have
the
needed the
thing that I'm
ladder.
thinking about the book is I think what we're going to use the book for is to make the case that the killer went into the scene afterwards and found this piece of evidence, because the thing that we're arguing was real is, yes, the cops went in and they found our brother dead with the knife and the key in his hand, and all of that was because of contraptions that were set up before. But that the killer was able to get
But there was also something that happened after.
And get rid of the book. And that would point to, obviously, the police, but we're not accusing the police yet. So instead it would be like, well, Miss Cheng lives in the building. She could have snuck into the crime scene and messed with it afterwards, you know? So, and that's the thing. I don't think we have, like, we don't have the chair, you know?
We don't,
Which
no.
is unfortunate. I think there's a point where we'll have to try
if
one.
they had tied it to him somewhere, then presumably that would have made it go directly above him.
But I'm not...
But, like, we don't have any sign of that.
If it was, like, a single string, yes. But did we see... If the book, we have the problem of would it light the book on fire, we have the question of would it cause burns in some way.
Yep, that is a decent point, and I don't think we saw anything like that on him.
But I think at the very least we might want to give one guess. We've got a nice bar of health. We revived after that bad ending.
I mean, I wonder if it could have been that the book did burn. It was just like somewhere else. But I think we would have seen. I think we would have seen more signs of fire in that case, because that's like a bigger fire than just.
It's a bigger fire, but like the reason why I think the book would have had to be only moderately burned is because the cops are like, oh, there was nothing, you know, we went in the scene of the crime and there was nothing suspicious, so it would have to be something they didn't immediately notice, but afterwards the killer is like...
No, but I mean, like, if the book had just completely burned away, then they wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, no, I mean, it didn't burn away, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I think the killer took it.
Yeah. I mean, I can try the book, I don't know. That doesn't seem convincing to me.
You have to try a thing, I think.
Yeah, we have to try something. What if the book was placed on one end of the string as a weight to keep somewhere at the same level? Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's try it.
All right.
The killer used kerosene, and there was another area contaminated with kerosene as well. Really?
There was?
I don't remember that. I do not remember that.
Okay, no, it's cool. Another area contaminated with kerosene. Now we just have to remember what that was. I'm like, the chemical place...
It probably would have been noted somewhere in here, right?
Well, I'm hoping, but do we have access? Wait, one with kerosene marks. No, right there.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
One with kerosene marks. There we go, perfect.
There we go, all right.
Contaminated with kerosene.
So that's how it is.
Yeah, we were right there with you, Shen, the whole time.
The ring at the end of the dagger's handle shows signs of scorching. There are scorch marks on the skylight frame as well. And the location where my brother was murdered happened to be directly beneath the skylight. That's the killer's plan.
Go on then, let's hear it.
The reason the killer placed my brother right beneath the skylight.
I don't know if I buy that setup, because like that candle is awfully far from the center.
Yeah, I think the idea is if you set it off in a specific area, the tension
I guess
of
the
string
yeah,
would have
exactly.
been
The
shortened.
string length was calculated exactly to reach from that
Exactly.
candle to the skylight.
And who
yeah,
do we
that makes
know who
sense.
has the mathematical know-how to make that happen?
Oh,
That's
no.
right, Sergeant Gaunt, the real killer.
Is because the skylight is concave, feasible to fix the sky lantern to its window frame.
Okay, that's a good
Then,
point.
He tied the kerosene-soaked cotton thread to a candle. After arranging the key, paper, and phonograph, he could leave the room and lock the door. Before long, the candle burned down to the cotton thread that suspended the
Oh, so it wasn't even from it hitting the skylight.
Yeah,
was just
no,
the-
they
the
were
candle.
just like, eventually.
And then they would have gotten the timing if they had a good idea of how fast the candle burned.
Yeah. It would take someone with a real mathematical hobby to figure that out. Right, Sergeant Gaunt?
Finally,
Dun, dun,
The
dun.
dagger fell vertically, piercing my brother's chest. My brother's death is definitely not a suicide. It's murder. The killer is still at large.
For someone without professional training, you are quite impressive.
He's like,
you do have a
yeah,
natural talent for detective
I'm
work.
fully on
indeed.
your side now.
However, this
But
particular dagger tips the scales at a mere 160 grams.
okay, well that's
Falling from the
not what the
skylight.
text says.
Could it veritably penetrate your brother's heart?
I don't know, man. You're the
Perhaps.
math whiz.
It behooves us to undertake an experiment.
Experiment
Okay.
time.
Samuel
I'll admit
Owsley.
that could be why Shen is like, this is a bad.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
Sorry, Mr. Shen.
that would
Wow.
do it.
We've given it our all, tried every which way, but we just can't mimic the
We
scenario
just can't
you put
murder your
forth.
brother.
That's dark. I don't know about this
That is
experiment.
dark.
Oh my
like-
god.
Officer, were the
But
eye
those
holes
mechanisms-
necessary?
Why?
Yeah.
It's like, but they were
I
such
do
perfect
ken how you're
mechanisms.
feeling, but I'm fearing we're at a standstill with no breakthroughs in sight.
Shadow Shen, you're our only hope to frame this old lady. Oh,
What are we doing now?
maybe that's the end of the plot.
Oh. Okay, we're back.
We're back in
I was
the
off to
present.
awake.
Miss Cheng lives to die of terminal illness another day.
先生，找到那份书稿了。
我刚刚睡着了。
He's like,
是
I
啊
have
外
had
面天都亮了。
the trippiest dream.
Yep.
沈先生，
There was a
趁你
mini
睡着
game and
我翻了好
everything.
多书架，可算是把那本书找到了。
I know for sure it's that book.
秀丽，快把书拿给沈先生看吧。
沈先生，罗佩借鉴的应该是这篇小说了。
藻井之殇，作者勾陈居士。
Hmm.
Sinosura.
Interesting.
That's a. It's got to be a pen name.
Yeah.
如果不是祖父的急性，我恐怕不会再踏入祠堂一步。老屋门环上斑驳的铜锈，一如叔伯们身上阿扎的铜锈。三婶逢人便炫耀儿子刘洋带回来的留声机，据说是
Classic
灌了明明的
mistake.
唱段，
Never bring a
要在仪
contraption
式
into
上
your
大露
home.
一手。大伯死了，被赐死在祭祖仪式上。
Hmm. There it is
Yeah,
with the
paper lantern
lantern and
right there.
everything.
So this is how they got the dagger to plunge through his uncle's chest, or the
Yeah.
uncle's chest.
那可是间密室啊，唯一的钥匙
The
就在
only
大
key
伯
is
身
with
上。
him.
现场除了
Oh.
尸体旁的七星灯
There's-
格外惹眼，就是那会
Yeah,
唱歌的
that's
机器。
Hmm.
that is a detail for sure.
大伯是被七星灯借命，亦或是 被机器的声音蛊惑。
It's that evil Western phonograph, I tell you.
我重新勘察
Rots
了
the
现
brain
场，
and makes the bones
的
weak.
确是间密室。留声机也因变调而显得诡异。难道真的是鬼神作祟？凶手是用孔明灯将凶器升到藻井之上的。变调的留声机，则让我察觉到了滚轴上的鱼线，密室迎刃而解。但藻井下的悲剧，还要像这滚轴一样。
How many times must the tragedy? Too many people get killed with a sky lantern dagger contraption in this very caisson. When will
封底
we
贴着一张
learn?
纸，上面写着“邵伯镇官厅街东首”。
Ooh.
Okay,
An
so
address.
some notes. This is incredibly short. You don't really have any character development
Yeah.
or build up to the solving of the mystery.
Or,
frankly,
in
it's
fact,
kind of an
any
anticlimax.
solution to the mystery.
Or in fact, any solutions to the mystery. So, no, we can't publish this.
Yeah.
先生，怎么样？有什么发现吗？
Well,
Niche.
whoever wrote this
留声机
definitely knows who murdered my brother, so.
眉头齐心，这些描述都与哥哥遇害的现场一致。书中的密室没有天窗，但屋顶有个藻井，
The
两者的
roof
作用是一样
caisson.
的。摩斯码纸带则被替换成了鱼线。相比罗佩的小
Yeah,
说，
honestly, the killer in this
这
book
份
was
书稿
way
与
less
哥哥的命案
clever
现
than the
场
killer who murdered
更
my
加
brother,
相
so
似。
like, take that down.
就好像作者亲历过一样。
It's as if the author
其他
knows
现场的细
something.
节也都一样吗？
Yeah, that 7-star
Yeah. 小说中的案件
lamp is
发生
kind
在
of
祠堂，
important.
而伦敦的案件发生在书房，两者的布置有诸多差异。不过，
But
这些差异均与案情无关，唯一案情上的区别是死状。
死状。
yeah, he
小
was
说中的受
praying
害
at
者
a specific time.
是在藻井下长跪祭拜时，被下刀的匕首扎死的。
So I wonder if in this case, the lantern would have already been hanging up there before he got there, or if someone would have had to float the lantern up there just during the time that he was kneeling.
Yeah, I think in this version the lantern was already there. He just like wasn't
Yeah, he
looking
just didn't.
up because
yeah.
he was distracted by that Western phonograph.
凶器插在他的背上，他的尸体也没有出现反曲现象。
这个差异意味着什么呢？
Well, it means unclear.
It's a lot of dots.
我不知道，
沈先生，我听了你们的讨论，突然有些联想。
I'm stealing this for another book about
我记得车
your
王里
brother's
雪
death.
夫斯基曾说：“艺术源于生活，高于生活。”
Okay.
毕竟我本人也是侦探小说作者嘛，明白作者喜欢从
Yeah.
现实中
Well, I
获得故事
mean,
灵感。
yeah,
既然
we
这本
kind
书
of
的
knew
情
that
节
already.
与沈先生追查的案件高度相似，
He must have actually been referencing the real life case.
那作者应该是案件
Thank
的
you,
真
No shit.
Suli. Truly, your insights are a great help.
那两位可知道勾陈居士是何许人？
Minnesota.
这我就不
You
清楚
have their
了。
address,
Never,
though,
but there's an
presumably.
address.
作者只留了笔名，我也不知道他
A
的真
pen
实身
name.
份。
他还有其他作品吗？
没有了，
I mean,
这是
we
勾
have an
陈居士
address.
唯一的投稿。
It's
is
honestly
good,
pretty
because
impressive that she just
clearly-
knows that off the top of her head.
She's like,
有没有
I
哪位
just
作家的
marked
文
him
风与他
down
相
as
似？
like never listen, never
说不
read
定
this
作者还用
again.
过其他笔名。
Don't we have an
此
address,
书虽
Shen?
构思精巧，但文笔生涩。
Yes, it's
作者更像
Barely
初出茅
writing,
庐的生
frankly.
手，而非经常创作小说之人。
那字迹呢？我好像看到过一些书稿字迹与这本书相似。
A fool?
We're gonna compare all of them.
召见，字迹是
Oh.
超圆的。
Yeah.
稿
Yeah.
已经退
That
还
would
给
make it
作者
difficult.
Okay. I think
当时退稿
the
地址
address is
应该还
important.
能找到吧。
Yes.
时间久远，书局又搬过家，收稿和退稿的记录都找不
But
到。
Except
But what is
it's
the
right
address?
there.
Yeah, it's on the back of the book.
书的这个部分，说不定对找作者有帮助。
The address on the back of the book.
书的封底贴了一张纸，上面写着“邵伯镇官厅街东首
Let's hope that's
Like
close
this one
by.
isn't even.
这个看上去确实是碧城姐的字
It's
迹。
it's not even like a clue. It's like, you know, I could understand if like they had some time in between seeing there is an address on the back of this book and how can we find the author of this book?
Yeah.
You know, like give you time to
看这
forget
些
about it,
你知道这
but
个地址吗？
没有，不过你倒提醒我了。碧城说过，自己找到了部分剧稿作者的地址，准备走访一下。
she's like, I'm going on an apology tour.
先生，我们快去吕先生写的地址看看吧。说不定勾陈居士就住在那里。”。
好，我们看看去。两位，我可以把这份书稿先借走吗？
当然，还有什么需要我帮忙
Frankly,
的，
if this
尽
was
管开
me
口
and this was my brother's murder investigation, I would not be asking. I would just be like,
再见。
I am taking this.
邵伯镇官厅街东首，就是这里
Fast
啊。
travel.
Pretty fancy looking place.
进去看看。
You better not be murdered when we get in there.
先生，这里看上去荒废很久了。勾
Well,
陈
shit.
居士会不会早就搬走了？
看屋内的装饰
I
布
mean,
局，
this seems
这
like
不是住
a
宅，而是一座祠堂。
ancestral
Well.
hall. What if it's inspired not by our brother's murder, but by a murder in this ancestral hall?
I mean, it's possible. Maybe something happened there like a long time ago, and then the killer in the brother's case actually referenced that.
Yeah, it could also be like the other way around. Something that we have seen in the past couple of cases is like people shopping out murder solutions. So like it was sort of implied that Liangson probably helped Elle to come up with the serial killer plan.
Yeah.
And then just like spirited off on his world tour or something like an asshole. And then also in the Ironworks case, they noted that like, okay, this guy bludgeoned a man to death with a bag of silver coins in essentially a panic, and then had a kind of elaborately constructed ruse to give himself an alibi by pushing the body into the iron. So like maybe there's like, we've talked about, you know, Professor Moriarty before, but it's like maybe there is legitimately like, oh yeah, I'll help you do your crimes. Like I've got this incredibly competent killer on speed dial. And what if they're just reusing their own plots or something?
Maybe.
祠堂。
Ancestral Hall,
That's
just
Stanley.
like the book.
And like, because this is also where Shen grew up, it's possible that whatever happened here was somehow related to their family.
Oh,
like
yeah,
if
that's
we're
a good
thinking
point,
that
yeah.
like, you know, this murder happened first, maybe the person who died here knew Brian or was like had some sort of relation to him.
Yeah.
And that's why
Shen's
the
just got
murderer
so many
like
dead bodies in his past.
yeah.
Okay,
先调查一下看看。
let's find out.
Getting juicy.
I would look up at the ceiling first, just to make sure.
The right part of the couplet. The handwriting's already blurred. continuing the family line, fragrant for generations to come sincerely. You get to voice Afu finally.
Finally, I get to voice this boy. Shen, is the large table in the middle the altar?
Yes, the stairway on top is where the ancestral tablets are placed for worship. The left part of a couplet, on which it is written, holding the candle, carrying on the ancestors' light, illuminating the virtue.
Oh, we've got a chair.
2 fallen chairs. They don't seem to have anything special about them.
Except for murder.
Hey, Ree! Glad you could make it to the stream. What did you miss? Well, we finished up our, finished, quote-unquote, our, investigation in our Mind Palace flashback thing.
The Mind Palace.
And we came up with the theory for how the knife was, how the knife contraption worked. That they floated up the knife.
Not one, not two.
Yeah.
But 3 contraptions.
They floated up the knife on a paper lantern, and it was tied to a string soaked in kerosene, and the paper lantern was soaked in kerosene. And we were guessing that it was tied to a candle, and when the candle burned down to the height of the string, it lit the string on fire and burned everything and dropped the knife.
Yeah.
But the our Sergeant Gaunt brought up the problem that
the mathematical prodigy, apparently.
The knife was too light, and it wouldn't be able to like plunge into his chest with any kind of force or accuracy.
Although okay, so my new theory, 4th contraption. We have noted that the dagger could be lifted with a paper lantern without, while still having some excess. Like, you essentially could have lifted 2 of those daggers with the size of the paper lantern that Gaunt was calculating. So, like, what if there was a weight of some kind attached to, like, the bottom of the dagger to ensure that it fell in the proper configuration and didn't, like, wobble or flip? And then it was, like, designed in such a way so that when they removed the dagger from him, the weight
it would have to be attached in such a way that that it stabilizes the dagger, but also doesn't impede it from stabbing.
Correct.
So, not impossible, but tricky for sure.
We need a 4th contraption. We need so many contraptions. Whoever did this was like an absolute mastermind, which is why Sergeant Gaunt is now on my list of suspects. Not seriously, but that would be
You know who else is good at contraptions?
Who?
Afu and his family.
Afu and his family. I did say after.
Well, I guess Afu's not so much into contraptions as like mechanisms.
Science, but like he absolutely could calculate this. Like
he could absolutely make a contraption.
It was Afu all along. He's very intelligent. I believe in him. But like, I'm just like, after Officer Ma betrayed us, I'd been like, which is why I look forward to Afu being the mastermind behind the whole thing. And it's like, if that turns out to be true, that's gonna be wild.
Anyway.
What
were we saying?
Yeah, it's revealed the reason for the whole knife contraption was not actually to establish an alibi or a locked room mystery. It's just that Afu doesn't like blood, so he's got to be gone when this happens.
Of course, it all makes sense.
Of course. He's like, ever since I made my special blood glasses, I've been able to do so many more murders.
Yeah, it's true. We got back, or rather, we woke up. And we've managed to find the book, and the book contained a story eerily similar to what happened to our brother. So now we're investigating.
Yeah.
This address was like on the book, so we assumed that this is where the author of the manuscript lives, but it's abandoned, and it looks awfully similar to where we expected that crime to take place.
And I gotta say, the thing that is most suspicious is the, like, oh, here's the 7-star lamp.
Yeah.
Just like the candles. Like, this is somehow
Yeah,
an
like that
important
seems
part
like some kind of... I mean, obviously to some extent they needed it for contraptions, but like the exact arrangement seems like... Not exactly a, like a calling card, but like a... like some kind of message.
Yeah. There's something going on with that in specific. So we've got so many questions, and we didn't even frame anybody for our brother's murder by accident, and
Not yet.
now we're probably gonna get ambushed with plot.
Yeah, let's see what happens now. The wooden door at the entrance of the ancestral hall.
Which is now locked.
The plaque on the door reads, De Shun Xiao, morality, obedience, and filial piety.
Shouldn't the door of the ancestral hall usually be in the center? Why is it on the right side?
Perhaps there are some feng shui considerations for this arrangement.
What a coincidence. The door of the ancestral hall in the novel is also on the right side. I'm sure that's a coincidence, and I'm not going to question it further.
Hafu, have you noticed the caisson above us?
Yeah, the first thing I did was check it for daggers. The caisson? I don't even know how that's supposed to be pronounced.
Me neither. Look up. Side note, I love this art. Just like the texture of the wood and like the colors and the spooky spider webs and all this stuff. It's very pretty. This is a relatively rare octagonal caisson, almost identical to the description in the book.
I looked up and saw the layers of vaults, towering like the sky. The center of the vault is a Tai Chi pattern. The two yin and yang fish seem to be alive.
This guy was just really a terrible author. All he could do is just describe the actual scene.
Just the vault, and then we're like, I solved it immediately.
Yep. Like, no creativity. Just no like, creativity. Yeah, this is how I remember it from that murder.
We're really
not a single original thought.
Here.
Yep.
Is it more important to have the plot, or is it more important to write it well? Really, it's exactly like that. Could it be the case described in the novel actually occurred here? I guess we gotta solve this old murder.
It's hard to say. Miss Wu once said that art originates from life.
Yeah, I mean,
like, probably gained inspiration from here.
Just like 5 minutes ago.
And incorporated it into the story.
Miss Liu also found this place through the description in the novel?
It is highly possible.
Shen, it seems there are words on this wooden board.
There's a lot of there's a lot of dust on the wooden board.
Mini game.
I need to wipe it off first.
Ah, yes. It all makes sense now.
Of course. Can't you read Chinese?
Everything makes perfect sense. To know gratitude and pay gratitude.
I think that's a list of names at the bottom there. I wonder if there'll be anyone familiar.
Oh, the plaque on the ceiling beam has fallen off. So, like, these are donors?
Maybe. Underneath these 4 big characters, there are also a list of names. Bright Wu. Oh. Uh-oh.
The Woos!
William Wu, Robert Wu,
Stone
Grace
Wu.
Wu. Interesting that they're
the murder method.
Using the English names here.
Yeah,
like, is this,
and it is interesting.
What I mean, like, clearly written on there is like Chinese characters. I wonder if these are like translations of their names?
Transliterations,
Or well, not like literally transliterations, but
yeah. It's just
like
it
Bright or
definitely
Grace
always
you could
been
see being
true.
an actual translation, but like William and Robert are just like names.
Also, now that we're on the subject, the archive lady is Miss Wu, so is she related?
Yeah, that's also a
Do we
great
actually have
question.
the surnames are related this time?
Could be.
What's the phrase? I was gonna say, because Stone Wu as like an English name, it's actually, you know, this isn't a very common name in English, so it's not
Yeah.
great for like assimilation blending in purposes. So this might be like,
Yeah, maybe.
this is how the family
Yeah, their family just names their kids like that.
just does this.
I do want to take a peek at Miss Wu's profile once we get out of here.
Yeah. All surnamed Wu. It seems like this place is the Wu family's ancestral hall. So here's the thing. Stone Wu, yeah.
Yep.
Rentley Wu, a perfect English name.
Yeah.
So Stone Wu told somebody else about what happened with his family in the ancestral hall, and they use that to murder our brother. They're not even geniuses. They're plagiarists. Murder plagiarists, the worst kind.
Stone Wu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shen, is there something wrong with Stone Wu? Yeah, he's a murderous son of a bitch, and I'm gonna kill him. Yes, I have seen the name Stone Wu on your board, your crazy conspiracy board.
Yep.
He's one of the suspects in the case.
Stone Wu. Is it him?
Shen's like, am I gonna do a vigilante justice now?
Who is this now?
Who are you?
Is it
Who
him?
is this? Yeah, somebody got murdered here.
Who are you? Oh my god.
Oh, I mean, that's
Alright,
handy.
so
We have no more evidence.
characters.
Yeah, that would be your surname.
Hmm.
The fact that she's not like, hey, that's my ancestral hall.
What
is
is
a
this
bit
parrot going to
suspicious.
tell us?
What's the parrot gonna tell us? What information does he have? A mathematician.
She is the one that found the book. That's also true.
God damn it, all these people with
你不也是私闯进来的吗？
suspicious family ties.
非也非也，我对这里熟得很，知道化解之
What does
法。
that mean?
我看你是想骗我们算命，让我们付钱吧。
He's like,
这个讲究的是缘分。掏5个铜板，捧个香火，为此事做个小小的功德便可。
谢老先生，我欠2份
So,
香火，但你不必
the
给我
thing
算。
is, I think Stone Wu continues to have a good alibi in that he at least allegedly left the day before the murder went
Yeah.
down. Which I don't think that the time delay could be that significant. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they would have had
the-
to. They would have had to get in there when he was paralyzed.
yeah, the phonograph had to be set up at 150. So like,
They had to set up the
He
phonograph.
would
They
have
had to set
been
up
on
the
the
key.
ship
It,
at that
would have had
time.
to be like at the time. Like they would have
Yeah,
had to be
unless
there
we
at the time
find
of his
out.
death. It wasn't like
Yeah.
that much of a remote murder.
yeah, like the thing that gets me is, okay, I could see a scenario where somebody's just like, oh yeah, there was this wild time one of my ancestors was murdered in a locked room mystery, and just like tells that very blithely to somebody.
I mean, it's also possible that he could have shown someone else that same manuscript.
Yeah, he could have, like, my point is, like, that could
Like,
have
he
been
had the
an
original, he
innocent
could have,
thing.
yeah, just given it to whoever.
In isolation, it could have been an innocent thing.
Yeah.
But this guy who was in Britain to study science just gets on a boat and leaves, like, the day before a weird murder.
Yeah.
Exactly in the way that he described it. Like,
it's very suspicious, yes.
Yeah, like, I think he would have had to, in the best case scenario for him, they were like, well, we've got to kill Brian. Hey, this guy's book murder method would be a really good way of doing that. And then they're like, hey, buddy, you need to leave or we will also murder you because you know too much now. So that's kind of the best case for Stonewu here, is that he, you know, didn't willingly collude, but like saved his own skin, you know.
Hey, Kit.
Alright.
不知施主希望我做什么？
Well, we
开
see
光、做法、
we're looking
解
for a
梦、
murderer.
看风
So
水。
do you have
我
an
想请教
insight
几
on
个问
that?
题。
好说好说。
谢老先生可认得这宅院的主人？
认得呀，吴家大老爷吴志明吗？我还给他的孙子们算过姻缘。
What have I missed this time? Well, I think I probably won't go through the entire thing, but basically, we have found the manuscript, and it contains a story that is eerily similar to how our brother died, and we've found the location of what seems to be the murder that inspired that story, and possibly also our brother's death.
Our brothers, yep.
So we're investigating this place, and it is the ancestral hall of the Wu family, home of Stone Wu. So he is involved somehow. We don't know how yet.
The guy who
But
left
he
to
probably
China
would have
the day
known this
before our
story.
brother died.
And
Yes.
likely at least inspired the method, if not
Yes.
was responsible for it.
We have also noted that one of the people who works at the publishing house, her name is Wu something.
Yes.
Yang Li,
也就荒废了。
something like
A
that.
few years ago, they
but
say.
she's also a Wu, and she happened to be the one who found the manuscript, so we're a little, shall we say, suspicious.
So a few years
mean,
ago.
what-
Was it 3 years ago?
Yeah, 3 years ago. What if even, hang on, what if the Wu connection is true and correct? This is that lady. What if Sinosura is just her author pen name? What if it's literally
If it's her. She could it could
she's
be.
the one who wrote.
She did say that
I
she
found
was
the
a writer.
manuscript you were looking for. It wasn't stashed in my, own bag. So like she's a suspicious connection, but mostly just oblivious.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Shen, we're looking for someone who's bad at writing.
只有吴老爷的三孙子吴松涛肚里有墨水。
Is Song Tao, does that
不过
transliterate?
听说
Yeah, he went abroad.
Yeah, it sounds like our guy.
果然是他。
That's him.
巧了，1个月前有位姑娘来过，
Hmm.
也问了我同
Was she a
样的
reporter?
问题。
Well, that would have been Yupi Cheng, probably, right?
Yeah, probably Liu.
半仙，你说的这位姑娘可是圆圆脸、留短发、戴一副黑框眼镜？
正是。原来你们认识啊？
不知那位姑娘还说了什么？
她说，她是什么书局的修撰。吴家公子7年前向书局投稿了一
7
本
years
书
ago. Oh, I guess that was this manuscript.
很不错。
Well, I mean, okay, maybe it was at least, you know, we didn't see the entire thing, presumably.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the thing of like when you flip through a book for, you know, investigation.
Yeah, it's like a condensed
They're not going
version.
to show you literally the entire book, but it's much funnier to pretend that this whole thing was like 4 pages long.
Yes.
7年前，
7 years ago.
他是这么说的。
原来
He's
是
like,
这
so
样。
that's how it is. So the thing is, when we were introduced to him as Stone Wu, he was living in England. So all of the Chinese characters were introducing themselves with like an English name and then their surname.
So like Brian is referred to as
Toby
Brian
Cheng.
Shen.
And yeah, Brian Shen.
Yeah.
So Wu is his last name. It's like your forehead is darkened. It seems like you're experiencing a dissociative episode.
不急，我们先回一趟书局。我需要确
So
认
the
一些
thing
信
that
息。
Shen is now very suspicious of Stone Wu, but I think it's just literally anybody he could have shared that story with.
Yeah.
思绪纷扰，也睡不着。
Yeah, he's like, listen, every time I go to sleep, I have to play this running mini game with my dad's head. That's not restful.
拗不过你。话说，祠堂里那个算命先生说7年前，
7 years ago,
你好像很
yes.
震惊的样子。
Recognize
It
their
means
name
it
to stone.
predates the case.
I mean, it could just be that that's the literal translation. But it does sound a little bit odd in English.
罗佩的斗士
Yeah, like they
是在哥哥
had
命案
this
后才发明的。
big plaque full of names, and they had some other ones like Bright Wu and like Rentley Wu. And it's like, okay, they clearly have an idea of westernized names that is not exactly correct.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
因此，我一直认为书的作者是命案的知情人。
But
I mean,
Shen,
they didn't know about the case, but the case knew about them.
yeah, you've
按
just
早
got
井之上
causality
是
backwards.
7年前写的，远早于命案发生的时间。
也就是说
Yes, the book murdered
写出
your
小说
brother,
的作者
Shen.
反倒不一定与命案有关。
It's definitely related.
Definitely related, yes.
真正的凶手在作案时模仿了小说
Yes,
中的
okay,
杀人
cool.
手法。
Yes, except this novel wasn't published.
Wasn't published.
凶手是
Who
读过
would
这本
know
小
about
说的
it?
人。
Who's read the novel or who is familiar with the original murder?
更准确的说，
Yeah.
是知道小说内容的人。
Who knows the content?
这本书被拒稿了，并未得到发表。理论上，在命案发生时，知道内容的人只有作者本人，以及当年的
It
编辑
wasn't
和
necessarily
So
the
we
book,
have
though.
exactly 3 suspects.
当然，也不能排除作者曾私下给其他人
Yeah.
看过书稿。
Well, okay, I guess
have to
technically we
find
don't
all
know
the
that the
beta
murder
readers.
actually happened in real life. Maybe it was just based in a real location, and
Yeah,
they
that's
made up the
true.
murder that happened there.
That's
We've been kind of getting on this author's case for like not coming up with their own ideas, but maybe they did actually come up with all those ideas.
Yeah.
We're in Volcano Princess, the
idea
dad's name is
why.
Woods. Yeah, we have Wood, we have Stone. That game was also Chinese, so I wonder if that name was also just like a literal translation of the original Chinese one.
Yeah.
我们刚才回书局一趟，先生已经确认，那位编辑和滕超元没出过国。
Okay, yeah, so we
Oh,
questioned
yeah.
them off screen.
Okay, but like they could be lying.
他们也表示没有跟其他人说起过书的内容。
You were like, why would I tell anyone? It was a bad book.
接下来需要确认的，就是作者那边了。
Okay, so
We
if
gotta
we are
find
assuming that
this
the book
guy.
is fully fictional, then that kind of would go against my theory that the real life murder would have been related to Brian somehow.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
Does
we'll
make me
find
wonder
out
what-
that there was
yeah.
a real life murder.
这么说，吴松涛的嫌疑还是很大。
Let's get this
可
under
偏偏
bitch.
吴松涛在案发前一天就离开伦敦返回国内了。
He fast traveled to
可
China. He
是
couldn't have done it.
案发现场不是发现了延时装置吗？
Yeah, but not that kind.
那套装置
Not-
最多
yeah,
只能
not that
延时
much.
10几分钟，不可能达到1天之多。
Yeah.
A dozen minutes.
而且，案发那
Exactly
天早
12.
上，不少人都见过哥哥。
那吴松涛的不在场证明一定是伪造的。
其实，从伦敦带回案卷后，我就去上海找过吴
He's
松，
like, I checked.
他看上去并无异样，还拿出了
That,
传票和
that
离
is
职记录。
admittedly a weird...
That could be forged.
So we've talked about this. The date says September 23rd and where bound New York,
Yeah.
which could
This ticket
just
is
be-
very weird.
It's very weird, but I can't tell if it's the art messed up or this is a clue.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is possible that they just used, like, some actual...
Yeah, because I am gonna note that,
historical
like, we also
document.
don't see Stone Wu on
We
this
don't.
passenger name.
I mean, it does seem to be cut off at the bottom, so presumably the actual
Yeah.
document continues, but if it was, like, something actually that's supposed to be a clue for the case, they would have put his name in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this could just be a real thing. It could be that, since this game is originally in Chinese, they expected that, like, most of their audience, at least, wouldn't be paying
Yeah, that's a
attention
good
to the
point.
English text.
We've been joking about how every time Chinese text comes up,
Yeah.
we're like, of course, this explains everything.
Yeah.
But now the shoe's on the other foot.
Exactly.
Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they even, like, made the game with the intention of translating it originally. Because actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that the English translation did come out after the game. I don't know if they already had it planned or
Yeah.
if they just decided on it later.
Yeah. All right. You guys get a pass for this one.
那些资料看上去是真实的，
They appeared to be genuine. We've done more with less.
这些年来，我不是没有推演过吴松涛是凶手的可能。
He's like,
Don't be
believe me, it
without
keeps me up at night.
的确，如果吴松涛真的是凶手，他是怎么做到的呢？
无论如何，我们都有必要再去上海一趟，问
All
一问
right.
有关这本书的事。
Going to the city.
没错，
Shanghai time.
感觉我们离真相越来越近了。
And nobody got murdered here.
沈仲
What's
全和
this?
他的助手最近去了扬州，在金瓷书局里找到了一份书稿。
Oh, the drama. What is this?
The drama. Who is that in the hat?
书稿
A manuscript.
I feel like that might be Stone Wu.
It
据说
could be.
是本小说。沈仲平认为
Okay, never mind.
他跟吴松涛
Probably not. Yeah.
他正在来上海的路上。
He's on his way to Shanghai. Isn't that right,
How did they,
Joseph? He does look like
Find
he
that
has a
out somehow.
ponytail.
That is true. It's yeah. He would. Did we know where he's being stationed exactly? I think it might have been
Probably
Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
He's a big shot.
But yeah, he's
Probably
got the like
Shanghai.
Western style suit. He's got the ponytail. That's probably
got the ponytail.
Joseph. Who would
Joseph.
the other person be?
We're on to you.
知道了。
I don't remember his voice well enough to know if that's him, but
Well, the
It
thing
could
is, he spoke exclusively in English during
That's
those,
true.
like, or no,
Yeah, I
no,
don't-
sorry, you're right. He was showing off his Chinese. Sorry. No,
yes,
he,
in the other case, yes.
he spoke in English more than he had to, but he was speaking in Chinese. But like he was new to the Chinese language at the time. He was doing his
Yes.
Duolingo, so like he might have developed a more natural accent. That's the point I wanted to make.
Mm. Ooh, look at that.
He's been
so
living
pretty.
here for a while. Joseph.
Game's so pretty.
Title card. There we go.
And we still don't know what any of these say.
Yep. So I am gonna say, given that Shen has gone to Shanghai...
That was the end of chapter 5.
Yes.
Huh.
Chapter 5 was in fact all flashback.
天色不早，快打烊了。
What's
咱们
it?
抓紧时间去吴松涛的
Yeah,
养货
Joseph definitely did have a different, but there could be some like, oh, we're trying to vague up silhouette or something.
Yeah, I could see
Shen
this
has been-
silhouette being like a simplified version.
晚上，因为有
Yeah.
病，
Keep the
那你
mystery.
猜猜，这次来上海，
Okay, let's let them talk
是
first.
乘新开的当当车。
Yeah.
先生懂我哎。
Oh, he's
We
a
are
train nerd.
buddies. So the thing is, like, Shen has been to Shanghai looking for Stone Wu before.
Yes.
So, like, does Joseph just get constant updates of, like, oh, Shen's back. He's
I
still
guess. Well, this would be
investigating.
like a potentially a bigger update that like Shen found the book
He's found
and
the
now
manuscript.
Yeah. Hmm.
And this is why. Let this be a lesson to everyone here who wants to do a murder. Never steal it from somebody else's detective novel. Because the victim's brother will find the book and you will get caught. I think that's the most important lesson, really. Never plagiarize your murders. Kill from the heart.
Watson's.
Watson's Pharmacy. I don't know. I think the plagiarism is more important. That's what we're learning. We're learning so many lessons about plagiarism.
那不是贝先生吗？
And
What
there
a
he is. Immediately.
coincidence.
Oh, there's daughter.
Oh, shit. He actually has a daughter. Oh no.
I feel like that bear looks
Kill from the
different than the
heart.
other one, but presumably it's the
Solidified.
same bear.
The cola water. Because Liang Xin had a whole bunch of cola water.
Yeah. Cola water was
And
a plot
he's-
point
He's
before.
involved in this. Yeah, I don't
Deny.
love the fact
You've
that
had
he's
too
got a
much
daughter
today.
because he definitely did it,
Yeah.
and we're going to have to put him away. I don't
She
love
is
this
very
part.
cute.
I'm sorry, Cece. It's, you know.
Cece the cola water.
I mean, he literally has a bottle. He's just like withholding it from her.
He's a
Oh,
mean
Cece,
father.
don't
I feel less
cry.
guilty now.
When we get to Grandpa's house, he'll make tea for you.
See, Watson's here too.
Cece doesn't want to drink tea, just wants the cola water.
I feel like the children speaking in third person thing is more of like an Asian thing. And it's really weird to hear in a British accent.
Yeah. Joseph's like, ah, shit.
这，阿福，
He's like, ah, shit. Yeah. He looks nervous.
有些情绪。
They're also like, maybe it's just me, but I feel like he looks older and like way more tired than he has
I
been in like
mean,
the past.
He's living an international life of crime. It wears on you.
Oh, what's
Who's
this?
like, I'm great with kids, don't
Sissy.
worry.
This is a kaleidoscope I made myself.
Oh, he's speaking
Do you want
English.
to take a look?
That's so
He's
cute.
so good at English, you guys.
Aww.
He's doing his Duolingo.
Wow, there are flowers scattered inside. It's
Okay, well, you're not even
amazing.
looking at the right end, Cece,
Yeah.
so...
I wonder how long she's been living in China with her dad. Like, does she
mean,
know Chinese?
Presumably well, I guess less than 2 years, because
Yeah.
he
Because
came
he
over
came
here
2 years ago, so I guess she might have come over pretty recently then.
Yeah, she wasn't on the boat. She wasn't on the
Yeah.
murder boat.
If you like it,
Probably
I
for
will
the
give
best.
it to you.
周，我听说你去了湖南，
怎么突然来上海？
He's like, I keep very close tabs on you.
He's like,
for
I definitely
non-murderous
don't know
reasons."
exactly where you've been going and exactly
I
when you
don't
were going to be
have-
arriving today.
I don't have spies in every corner of China just on the off chance you solve my murder scheme.
哥哥的案子
Yeah, that was the
有些
thing.
新
That
发
was
现。
the thing that was weird about him was that he keeps calling Shen John even when he's speaking Chinese. I'm like, my guy.
Yeah, that was weird.
He has a Chinese name.
3年多了，
He's like, oh, you're still investigating that.
这次查到的线索与吴松涛有关，我想再询问他一下。
Maybe it's a nickname at this point. I guess it's just like what he's used to calling him, but it is weird to hear
Yeah,
in
but
Chinese.
like, even that, he really didn't meet
这人最近
Shen
惹了不少麻
until
烦
like he
是
got
你
there
防备人也在
investigating.
找他。
Joseph was friends with Brian. Oh, really? He caused a lot of trouble. The police have been watching him. That's weird. Maybe it's gonna come up at some
是的
point
先生，快看，
that
这
like
是稻草人送我
the
的。
suspicious guy, like in the big flashback that we just had, they said, did they say Shen Jinping is in China?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Okay, because maybe there's gonna be a bit where like somebody says something but they call him John and he's like, only one person in China calls me that.
恭喜你，找到了稻草人朋友。
How old is his daughter? Yeah, it's hard to say.
I don't know.
Like, I
she's
think she
young.
looks a lot younger in her, like, chibi sprite than in her
Yes,
regular
that's true.
portrait.
Finally, though,
稻草
we
人还
have
答应
someone
陪
that a
我
Fu
一起
is older
去
than.
奥特罗庙线。
哦，
He's like,
But I
finally,
have
I
in
get
my
to demand
hand
fealty
a
as your
straw.
senior.
It's okay. We can go to the Emerald City.
Like, I think in
and
her
ask the wizard to give
portrait, she
you
looks maybe, like,
brain.
10. And in her
Yeah.
little, like, character sprite, she looks 5.
That's great. Then I can learn how to think.
Actually, did Joseph mention her age when we talked about her before? Actually, I
Not-
think
not
Joseph
her
didn't even
age,
say
but,
anything
like-
about her. I think,
I think she's gotta be old enough to, like,
yeah.
I think she had to have been old enough to be, like, talking.
Yeah. I think it was just that Shen had brought up that he had a daughter. I don't think Joseph even said anything
Yeah.
about her.
I like how a
Now we
Fu
should
has
head
that
to Mr.
continued
Tinwoodman's place.
thing of being taught how to think. Like we've got this with the scarecrow,
Yeah.
and then we had that book salesman.
I got how old
Who's
Wizard
the
of Oz
Tin
is? That's a
Woodman?
good point, actually. How old is the Wizard of Oz? I also did not realize it was this old.
Decently. So her dad's the Cowardly Lion. And who's Mr. Tin Woodman? Tin Woodman.
Sure, Mr. Ginger is also waiting for you there.
周，我得现在细细去他爷爷家。晚些
Oh, is the
时候
grandfather
Straight
Tin
down.
Woodsman then?
Yeah.
无妨，
Oh, a
改日再聊。
grandfather meaning his dad? So I guess he also
Meaning
came to China?
Watson.
Yeah. I kind of didn't expect that.
Well, I mean, they both did it, so
True.
they colluded, so they've got to both be here for us to bring to justice.
先
Makes
生，
sense.
贝先生好像对西西完全没办法呀。
这就叫一物降一物。
I mean, I certainly hope he at least, like, genuinely cares for his daughter.
Yeah, I mean, I believe he does.
Yeah, I
Like,
think so.
I don't think
So
that's
I believe the
in
foreign goods store is
question.
where we wanted to go, because that was Stone Wu's store.
Yeah,
But
get
obviously
the
I
other
wanna
plot
see...
done first.
Nope. Let's hurry and go to the foreign goods store to find Stone Wu. Yeah, they're not letting us. Those things on sticks look really tasty, though. I want one. I think Afu wants one.
yes.
斯利亚，看您皮肤隐有油光哦，一定得试试玫瑰白粉水。
I don't like this. Wizard of Oz was
I'm
first
pretty
published
sure
in the USA in
that is
1900.
Stonewoo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's him. But
He's
yeah,
just like
talking
a
about
tiny bit older.
skin with a slight oily sheet. I mean, it's not like wrong, but just the way he says it somehow is just so slimy.
Yeah. Oh, and he works with Watson.
Yep, he sure does.
So he got paid off. It was like,
Yeah.
we'll buy your murder method. Get back to China.
Yep. And he's probably just been under their thumb this whole time, and now they're like throwing him under the bus,
You
or at least like trying to get rid of him by like either framing him or revealing
involved in
his
some
other
shady stuff.
dealings. Yeah,
Working with the Sassoons, probably.
maybe.
It's always the Sassoons.
Speaking of which, we forgot to look at the stuff yesterday. Not yesterday, last time. Let's just do these right now. Since we are like starting a new case.
Yep.
I don't want to get too behind on them. We've got a bunch.
Okay, Freud.
Freud.
Yeah, I'm not aware of Freud actually theorizing about dissociative identity disorder, but I guess I'm not an expert.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
Sassoons.
Sassoons. Okay, yeah, so probably real.
Oh, wow.
That is a lot of
That's
opium.
a lot of opium. Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper. You can't escape Jack the Ripper, even in this game. Yes, challenging the then dominant idealistic aesthetics of Hegel. And there we go. Yeah, Wizard of Oz.
Published in 1900. Yep. Exactly.
Yep. So I guess.
So I wonder if the if that relationship is going to be relevant. Like, I'm assuming that Cece would be Dorothy in this scenario here. And her father's the Cowardly Lion,
but
and her grandfather's the Tin
is she
Woodsman.
gonna give us testimony?
I wonder if like Stone Wu is the Scarecrow.
Well, I mean, she called a Fu the Scarecrow, but like,
true,
she probably had a different Scarecrow in mind originally. And the walls are decorated with algae patterns. Hence the name. Of course, that explains everything.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, her dad
I've definitely seen that
up
kind of
to her,
construction before. I didn't know what it was called.
Yep.
It's telling if she calls her dad the Cowardly Lion. It is a little bit odd. Did you hear a stage play before the movie of The Wizard of Oz? I had not heard of that. Interesting. All right, I think we can move on now.
All right.
我看上去很油。
Like, that's offensive.
She's like, oh, you want to die?
巴特呀，不油的皮肤最怕晒了。上海那个太阳毒的哟，一不小心您就被晒成了黑炭啊！不妨试试嫩容玉液，肌肤水嫩白似雪，肌肤光。
怎么，嫌我皮肤太黑啊？
Oh, she's just fucking with him. That's funny.
2 for 2, you really want to die.
哎呦，白，very 白，李小姐天生得体，再好的东西都是天头。
吴老板，听说你的玫瑰花水有新房子，拿给我看看吧。
Wonder if her grandpa is the wizard, the true manipulator behind it all. That would be interesting.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, okay, so
I think she was referring to her grandfather as the Tin Woodsman, but
yeah,
we'll
like,
see.
if somebody is mentioned as the wizard, that's going to be really suspicious. But like we haven't talked to Watson, but we essentially saw him. He had a voice. He had quite a voice.
Yeah.
It was a very boisterous voice. It was like, but he did give testimony to the cops, and it was like, he was very much leaning on the, he was so stressed, I should have seen this coming, it was definitely suicide. But also, the Sassoon family probably hated the work he was doing in trying to cure opium addiction. So like he's like, I'm just volunteering this information. I know you didn't ask about it, but like I want to give it to you. And it's like, yeah, he was super involved. We also had in the flashback, they pointed out that there was a fire that was lit at the hospital where it seems like Brian's drug was being tested. And that fire happened the night that he was, like the same day that he was murdered, but later in the night. So that's suspicious as shit.
Yeah. And yeah,
Watson's
the pale skin
something.
thing is definitely a thing in China.
Yeah. Yep.
I need to take a bit of a cat pet break.
I love the new recipe for rose
Demented.
water. I thought it was just rose and water. I'm not sure how we improve on that.
I wonder if it's like the method of extracting the fragrances or whatever from the rose, or what, or maybe it's like rose water with other fragrances or
other
oils
fragrances,
or whatever.
unheard of.
哎呦，真不巧，玫瑰花水刚售罄了。本店茉莉香粉也很受欢迎，你考虑一下。
好的呀。
What if the rose water is just slang for drugs?
It's always drugs.
赠品啊！
Yeah, they're just selling opium under the table.
稀客，真是稀客。丁香，帮我招呼下李小姐。
Oh yeah, you're not looking super healthy.
Yeah.
李小姐，你有什么想知道的？
I feel like
so I
this
think
does not make her a great spokesperson for cosmetics. I'm sorry, lady.
Yeah, she turned around.
Oh yeah,
to
she
hide
did
her
turn
face.
around to hide her face.
I think the rose water, the new recipe of rose water, is code for I want to buy opium from you, and that's why he's like, oh, we're out of that.
Oh, that would
we
be
want to buy
interesting,
some
yeah.
jasmine water, and she's hiding her face because she's in here to buy opium.
Oh, that's a great theory.
是什么风把你给
It's
吹
like
来了？
we whiffed it on the bong altar. It wasn't a bong, but
还是为了我哥哥的案子，有些事想要请教。
你哥跟我啊是粗客兄弟，有什么地方用得到我，你尽管讲。
oh yeah, I do not trust
松涛兄还记
those
得
words with that
少博
smile.
官厅街东手吗？
那是我们家的旧祠堂啊，你是怎么晓得的？
We read your
哦
book. It was
肯定
bad.
是伯安同你讲过。
He's also calling him Brian. This is so weird. When are we
Yeah.
gonna find out his name?
Does our
哎
brother not
那
have
件
a
白色
Chinese
却
name?
很气派的哦。不过，
我们可算找到你了，勾陈
Oh
居
my
士。
god. You can't just say
That's
that.
right. He's like, I'm bringing up your fanfic.net account.
早
Quiver
井
in
之殇这本书的
embarrassment.
作者勾陈居士就是你吧？
He could be like, no, that was my sister, and that would
那我
actually
挺开
be.
心呐。我哪里会写 book 呀？
That's a pretty shady thing to say, but
It is a shady thing to say. I'm torn on whether
yeah, I think it's definitely one of the two.
actually wrote it or not. I think he's related to the other Wu we talked to.
Oh,
哎呦，哎呦
Well, these look like some shady characters.
新科巡长大驾光临，真是李小店蓬荜生辉呀！
巡捕房局长， 闲杂人等让开。
哎呀，巡长啊，小本生意，可别惊扰着客人们啊。
It reminds me of Frank saw it with the closed eyes and when he
That is-
holds his hands together.
That is a resemblance.
I
Yeah.
think maybe that's why I distrust him so much.
Yeah.
That's entirely fair.
The very punchable face
Yeah.
of Frank saw it.
早就备好了，就在书房
The items you need. Oh, there's
Oh,
definitely not bribery
Oh god, what
or
is
smuggling
this?
going
Yeah.
on.
那还不带我去看看？
钟平啊，我得先接待一下辛格巡长。你看咱们，
我明日再来拜访。
你就是沈正平？
You know me?
Like what?
And
Why
And also,
do you know
who's the
me?
other guy?
您认得在下？
Is he just not important?
He's like, I'm Officer Ma's brother, and we're like, oh, shit.
汉阳那个案子，你办得还不错。
Oh.
Yeah.
巡长竟然知道汉阳铁厂的案子啊？
哦哟，现在上海难道还会有人不知道
Dude.
沈仲
Oh
平
dang.
It's like, yeah. We're famous, like Sherlock
报上那
Holmes.
篇文章，更
啊
是全城的热议焦点啊！
Yeah, that is gonna make investigating a little harder,
成
though.
名人了。
好了，该办正事了。
辛格巡长，您这边请。
So, like, Stonewoo, who's definitely to some degree involved in
先生
this.
既然
What-
今天无法
What
拜
do
访
you
吴宗
think
涛
his thought is when he sees a newspaper article that's like Shen Jinping is an incredibly good detective who can solve any murder, no matter
Yep.
how complicated?
Yep.
He's like,
Oh, boy.
shit.
去吃东西。
嘿嘿嘿，我已经打探好了，咱们住的那家宾馆的葱油拌面非常不错。
2 hours later.
先生，肚子好撑啊，
He did not learn his lesson.
不能
We've
动
also
了
changed into our Western clothes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
谁让你吃完面以后，又吃下去一整只8把鸭的？
都怪邻桌的鸭子闻起来太香了。吃饱。
I swear to God, if this is getting a foo out of the way for the investigation phase again,
That would be sad.
I am gonna be so steamed.
谁呀？
Murder time.
Uh-oh.
我去看看。
Ooh. I love his outfit and hair for Shen. Yeah,
Sure,
it
留下了一
suits
张
him
纸
very
条。
well. It is weird
Get out of
to
my
have him change into the hair, though. Like, did he get a haircut?
下午
Unclear.
晚上8点，洋货铺书房见。
Oh no, we're getting framed for Stonewoo's murder.
Yeah, like, why would
We're-
they...
We're getting so framed for
If
something.
it was him, why would he do the cutout thing?
Yep.
This is some kind of setup.
是吴松涛约你吗？神秘兮兮的。
Yeah, why in this way?
你先睡吧，我出去看看。
Well, okay.
Oh boy.
Upside, if
早去
Shen gets
早
framed
回
for the murder, a foo can be like, I got you this time, Shen.
Yeah.
Remember, Shen, don't eat the rice cake.
Ooh, look at this with all its nighttime lighting. I don't even know why I'm going here. Just admiring the view. Boats and ships come and go, loading and unloading, day and night without a break. From this point, Chinese goods are sold overseas, and foreign goods radiate into the mainland. It's a pity that along with the influx of foreign goods, there's also opium. It's almost time for the appointment. Better hurry to the foreign goods store. Were there neon lights during this time?
Specifically-
I I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, neon isn't that complicated a contraption. You basically just charge it with energy to excite
That's her.
the
She's just sitting here.
Yeah, it is her. She's sitting there. But yeah, neon's basically just you have neon in a tube and you charge it up. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It's almost 8 o'clock. I shall go to the foreign goods store for the appointment right now.
But thou must.
Yep. What's going on in that alley, though? She's sitting there menacingly. Yep.
She is. We're being menaced. Quick, steal everything that isn't bolted down.
That's an advertisement for Watson's Cola Water. Cola water.
Liang
strong flavor,
Xin!
as refreshing as nectar. The cabinet contains various bottles, each filled with distilled water from different brands.
Different brands of distilled water. It's
Oh, we got that
different
just from
if it's
exploring.
from Aquafina.
Various items loved by ladies are displayed on this cabinet. There are the popular Shuangmei brand Snowflake Taste and fragrant floral water, rose whitening water, beauty liquid, and flower water.
Shen has learned 0 lessons.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
It's
why
not
he
gonna go
changed
well.
into this outfit. Maybe we're gonna get blood spatter in a specific way and it needs to be this outfit.
On the counter, there are copper human body models, presumably used to demonstrate human anatomy.
Yeah, they did have rose water, which is why the rose water was opium.
Oh. I wonder who's gonna show up.
I wonder who's gonna show up.
I
wonder why we don't have a profile for that other person.
Yeah, I wanted to look at the outfits. Can we change?
Some scenes do not support outfit
No, we
changes due
can't.
to story settings.
Interesting.
We're about to get blood all over our
Wait,
hot
hang on.
outfit.
I assumed we would have to walk past the counter, but
No, I think we walk back out. No,
I
the study
think
door.
we have to look at the door. Stone Wu, are you there?
Are you murdered? So to be fair, I think it could just be like really tightly braided to his body.
It could be, yeah, just like hidden. Although, like, the front bits are clearly cut.
Yeah, I don't know about. I don't know.
Like, he has bangs.
Maybe he just like pulled it back more. He's just like, this is how the British braid their hair.
It's not even 8
It's
o'clock
not
yet.
even 8 o'clock.
I'll just wait for him in the study.
He is dead.
totally
Yeah,
dead.
this is such a setup. Oh wait, hang on, from the back view. Kick the door open.
The cabinet also contains some carefully preserved calligraphy and paintings, as well as a safe. On the cabinet, there is a hat and a stack of documents. Well, there's no dead body in here.
No dead body in here.
Various documents and a few photographs are displayed on the cabinet. There's a photo of my brother and Stone Wu. Oh good, get your fingerprints all over the crime scene, yeah!
All over the crime scene.
Judging from my brother's attire, it must have been taken 7 or 8 years ago. Uh-oh. During the time the
7
manuscript
years
was written?
ago? Yep. They've been plotting this for a while.
A complete set of delicate tea utensils is placed on the desk. Next to the tea utensils, there's a key. On the right side of the desk, there is a stack of documents with a sticky note on top. Oh.
Yoink.
Huh?
Huh?
What is this?
Full confession?
This document is...
A full confession, and also Stone Wu is dead now? Having killed himself?
Shanghai Enigma. Chapter 6.
We see you, lady.
I've only seen bits
Oh,
and
yeah,
pieces
the
of this. How
brothers-
long ago was the brother's murder? Yeah, the brother's murder was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Oh,
Has Shen not left?
she's here. We don't know.
So my money's on. There's a document where.
I can't believe
Wu-
Shen's been murdered.
Yeah, that was the real twist.
Yep. Oh god, and now it's all up to Apu.
Now it's all up to Afu. He's like, shit, I don't even have a shadow Afu to help me out with this.
Oh my god, is this gonna be the first case again where it's just like Donwoo's body lying there and then Shen's like unconscious on the ground next to him and they're like, he must have done it.
Shen didn't even eat a rice cake. Yeah,
Oh.
where is Shen?
Well,
Oh no.
好吵啊
It's the Afu power hour.
Yep.
先生怎么一宿都没回来？
So
我得出门看看去。
I'm wondering, so since we seem to be shifting perspective to Afu, I don't think we're supposed to know what happened after Shen read the note. Now, my theory is that the note is a false confession to Brian's murder.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that we're supposed to be uncertain about as Afu is whether whether Shen murdered Stonewu in revenge.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the
So
setup
from an
here.
external perspective, we can't know that it's a frame-up just yet.
Yep.
Who's time to shine, baby? Where's Shen?
Do you know
This
anything,
is the
sir?
mystery, guys.
Should I try to explore again?
Yes,
Of course.
we need to
you
go
always have
exploring first.
Get all the hidden notes and achievements.
Did Shen go back to the ship to retrieve something? No. The Shanhei already left Shanghai yesterday afternoon. It will only return in 3 days. He's even doing Shen's head shake.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the detective now.
Yep.
Oh, that's Toby.
Yeah, it does look like him. And the hat reminds me of the guy who was talking to
The
supposedly
guy who's
Joseph.
like, Shen was here. Yeah, that could be Toby.
Yeah.
Fucking
I remember the
Toby, you're
distinctive
involved in
hat.
this too. The hat, yes. Officer, what happened in this foreign goods store?
It's none of your concern. Mind your own business.
My friend had a meeting here last night with someone and he hasn't returned yet. I'm really worried about him. Can you let me go in and have a look?
We're investigating the case. Go elsewhere to find your friend.
Break in through the window. Officer, my friend's name is Shen Chungping. He's a detective featured in the newspaper. And now we found I'm his assistant.
Can't come in. That's final. Even if your friend is the Emperor himself, it's still not allowed.
Now, I'll admit, the fact that they're not like, wait, that's the guy who
Yeah.
did murder.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Then can you tell me what kind of case happened inside? Maybe Shen and I can provide some clues.
It's a murder case. The victim is a man wearing glasses.
Well, both of the guys we know wear glasses.
Yep.
Wearing glasses? What did the victim look like?
And what was he wearing?
Yeah.
Another
Was he
annoying
wearing
reporter.
a Western style?
Yep.
No, that's not true. I'm worried that the victim might be my friend.
Don't think I can't see through you. No interviews. Get lost.
But...
One more word and I'll detain you.
Now, I will say, I think that, one, our protagonist probably isn't dead. Two, I think the clerk would be a little less sad if it were some rando.
Yeah.
Officer, Shen wears glasses. I'm really worried that he might be the victim.
I wonder if you talk to this guy enough, is he actually gonna arrest you?
Bad ending. Arrested.
Yep.
Please let me go in and have a look, or at least tell me who the victim is.
This is a crime scene. I'm a police officer, not your informant. Get it through your head and stay away from here.
I can't leave. Shen's life is at stake. I must find out what happened to him.
Are you deaf? Disappear immediately. Don't dig your own grave. Alright. Let's try it. Oh no!
Officer,
I mean, this
I
might
beg you
actually
to
be the way
please
forward.
help me. Allow me to go in and take a look. I promise not to say anything, just have a look and leave. Shen never disappears without a word. He must be in trouble.
Which newspaper are you from?
I am not a journalist. I'm a Fu, detective assistant of Shen Chengping.
Give me a break. I've seen so many tabloid journalists. You're the most resilient one.
The rest of them only asked me twice.
Yeah. But you should still leave. Don't make it difficult for me.
Well, we can burrow our way in.
Really? That's so scary.
Through the neighboring.
It's just, are you going to watch it? Been in line and it'll be my turn. What? Oh, okay. No.
I do see
the line
a familiar reporter to the right.
Yep. And talking to a familiar person. No, I wanted to go back and talk to the officer again before I went there. Okay.
So
did we voice him before? I think we probably didn't.
We did. His thing was fully voiced. Now I will say I loved the voice that he had, and I would love to be able to voice him. But it looks like we've got a Fu, and a Fu's going to be the focal for a while, and we've also got the reporter who I was voicing. So if you want to voice him, go ahead.
All right. In fact, even if someone gets the formula, it wouldn't have a substantial impact on our business.
I've heard Watson Group sets up a large reward for clues about the Shanghai Phantom.
Shanghai Phantom?
The Shanghai Phantom.
Is Stephen Watson the one talking to the hat dude in the shadows? Was he? I don't think it was.
The shape of the head silhouette does kind of seem.
Oh yeah, no, you're
Watson
right. That it was like more rounded and didn't have Joseph's little curly bits.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is likely.
Them bells.
Yeah.
Is this true?
She has a little like kitty face smile. More precisely, it's the police that have issued the reward for collecting clues about the thief. The reward is actually provided by Watson Group. Is he the Tin Man because he has no heart? That's what I've been wondering.
Yep.
We believe that this will not only help maintain public safety, but also demonstrate Watson Group's support and commitment to social order.
So, how effective has the reward been?
Unfortunately, we cannot disclose too much information at the moment. Granddaughter is a savage, yeah. The police are fully dedicated to the investigation. I have faith in their professionalism. Once there is substantial progress, they will announce it promptly.
Thank you for your time. Looking forward to the next meeting.
I am looking forward to it as well.
Watson Group offers a hefty reward for the arrogant Shanghai Phantom. How about this? Kosin! Shen! Afu, calm down. Take your time. What happened to Mr. Shen? Shen may have been murdered. What? Mr. Shen was murdered? Last night, Shen went alone to Stone Foreign Goods Store and he didn't come back all night. This morning, I found the store was surrounded by the police. There was a murder case inside. The victim was a man wearing glasses. I mean, do you know anyone besides Shen who wears glasses? Don't worry, let's head to the scene to gather information. We tried that, they won't let me in. Magicians! Weren't we supposed to go
and
to
it's
the
her
store
specifically.
to inquire about Mr. Shen? So that sort of implies
Oh,
she
there's
did get some money.
Lady from the store.
Yeah,
Unless it's just
she
another NPC
teleported.
who happens to look exactly like her.
Yeah, she teleported.
Yeah.
Why are we at the theater?
Also, Bell Building. I don't
Yes.
like that.
Well, I mean, she was presumably interviewing Mr. Bell about it. I went in the wrong direction.
I mean, yeah, clearly he, like, lives/works there. But the fact that the building literally, like, has their name on it
Oh yeah,
is a little bit
they're,
much.
They're rich. They're rich British people
Yeah.
who are smuggling opium into the country. I assume.
Oh, it's Watson's Pharmacy that has this whole long line outside of it.
So whatever murder happened, I bet you the pharmacy, we've got a secret hole that goes from the pharmacy to the study.
Yeah.
Calling
They're
it
like right next door, and they're in some sort of cahoots.
cahoots. That's how they do the opium smuggling. They just go into the back. Officers, go into the back. We've got your stuff in the back. Open secret hole. Here's the opium. Why are you staying there? The police officer is still there at the door. He'd driven me away earlier. If I go now, he will definitely recognize me.
It's time for a disguise.
Yeah. I got it. Wait here for me. Be careful, Kosin. He seems to dislike journalists a lot. Don't worry. There's nothing I can't find out. They're like, you know, we used to dislike each other, but now we have respect. 10 minutes later. Wow, he kicked me out. The on-duty officer is Officer Lee Ko from the Central Police Department. He gave me good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? I'm like, when the bad news would be that Shen is dead, which I don't think there's any good news that's going to make up for that. Let's hear the bad news. Oh no. Let's actually hear the good news first.
I would definitely want to get the bad news out of the way in this scenario.
The victim of the shooting case at the foreign goods store is not Mr. Shen.
And the bad news is that it's Stone Wu.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. And the bad news is... the victim is Stone Wu, owner of the store. Officer Lee has no idea where Mr. Shen is.
Okay, well, at least he wasn't arrested.
It's him. Sorry, say again?
At least Shen wasn't arrested.
Yeah. Earlier, you said Mr. Shen went to the store last night for an appointment to meet Stone Wu?
Well, if he's gone, I wonder if he left on his own or if he was, like, abducted.
Yeah, my money's on abducted for the reason of... They're trying to make it seem like Shen might have a motive to kill Stone Wu, I assume. So, like, getting him out of the way long enough to not clear his name. Like, he could be having a mental breakdown. But the thing is, I think that the thing he would have seen is probably it's probably not like, here is a real legitimate clue. Somebody wanted to get him at the crime scene at that time. They wouldn't have left a legitimate clue. If it was like, I'm Stone Wu and I killed Brian Shen, I could maybe see him having a breakdown, but I think that it probably wouldn't be quite this long in the sense of, like, eventually he'd figure out something was off about it.
Yeah.
I think he got abducted. Yes, Stone Wu is a crucial witness. Could it be that Shen went alone to catch the murderer? Does Mr. Shen often leave without informing others and go after criminals alone?
Like he doesn't.
This is the first time something like this has happened since we've known each other. Officer Lee said the body was found by the assistant Ting Xiang when she arrived at 7 a.m. today. The body was found in the study room of the foreign goods store. Study room?
Afu, no!
They were supposed to meet in the study room of the foreign goods store. What exactly happened last night? Afu, I have a bad feeling about this. What kind of feeling? A bad one. In any case, we must find Mr. Shen as soon as possible. But Shanghai is so big. I don't even know where to begin with. Let's start by asking if anyone around here has seen him, like that pretty lady over there. Where's Shen?
Tell us here. We can try in there, I guess.
Perhaps Shen left me some instructions in the room. Should we go back and take a look? Well, looks like we can take a look, so...
Love the realistic flowers. Very random.
Mysterious case in Hongyang Ironworks unveiled. Traveling detective's clever strategy revealed. Isn't this the article I wrote?
He looks so smug about it.
This newspaper was being sold everywhere as we got to Shanghai, so I bought one as a souvenir. Readers are eagerly looking forward to seeing the two detectives solve a new case again. This is Shen's briefcase. It contains documents of Shen's brother's case, and he often takes it out to review. What is this machine? This is my new invention, the phonograph broadcasting machine. Yeah, see, like when Afu makes a contraption, he makes a contraption. My suitcase was full, so I stuffed it into Shen's. What is a phonograph broadcasting machine? It consists of two machines, a broadcasting machine, and a phonograph. The sound received, even from far away, can be recorded and broadcast through a phonograph. Like a figure with super hearing in mythology. Exactly. If I further improve it, we can do long-distance sound transmission. Afu's just out here casually inventing cell phones. That sounds great, but there's one drawback. Long-distance sound transmission only allows for one to speak or listen. Two-way would be ideal. That's easy. By using two of the machines simultaneously, we can both listen and speak. Like a walkie-talkie.
Yep.
Two machines. It's not convenient to carry.
Why don't you just combine them into one?
I haven't figured out how to make it portable yet.
When was the radio invented?
Try adding a button first. When we hear a sound, we press it, and the other person will know. Casually inventing the walkie-talkie. This is the book that Shen reads every day. The English Law Review, the Great Qing Code. Oh wait, the English Law Review, the Great Qing Code, Handbook for Judicial Examiners. Yeah, he was going to be a lawyer, and then his brother died. They're all books related to law, fitting for Mr. Shen.
Okay, is that all we've got here? I guess we might as well go all the way out again.
Shen is also not at the dock. Afu, we can't wander aimlessly. It's impossible to find Mr. Shen this way. Shen's disappearance has thrown my mind into chaos. I can't even think about food right now. Hosin, where did you say we should go earlier? We can go to the Lyceum Theater to inquire first.
Okay.
Alright, to the theater.
Wait, why would we check at the theater first?
Because people nearby might have seen him.
I guess.
Yeah, it's like, it is very funny that the evil British family is named the Bells.
Yep.
And we've got all this telephone stuff going on. What are we queuing for? Theater time.
That's not gonna be relevant at all.
There's a lost cat notice posted on the wall. Finally, we can find a missing cat in the Alps.
Oh my god!
Finally! It is written in both Chinese and English, asking if you've seen this cat.
Ye old memes! I love it!
A perfect artist rendition. I have now, yep. If you have any information, please contact me through the address provided below.
I'm wondering if this is also like a translation thing, that they just didn't... What? Oh!
It's like there's
hello, small child.
Yeah, there's a sign, like, I've seen the have you seen this, I have now.
Yeah.
One posted pretty recently on my commute. So it stays alive. If we still don't have any news about Shen, should I also consider posting a lost notice? Have you seen this detective? You want to do...
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm doing double duty with, like,
have you seen Mr.
focal
Ginger?
points here.
Who's Mr. Ginger?
Cece, hi, but I
Oh, is
haven't
it her
seen
cat?
Mr. Ginger.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's... Well, okay, so Mr. Ginger was mentioned. Can we go to the Tin Woodsman's? Mr. Ginger will also be there. So.
Yes, probably the...
Can't believe she didn't...
Probably the cat, yeah.
Yeah, can't believe she didn't name the cat Toto.
And also that would explain why the post was in English and looked like it was drawn by a child.
Yes.
That's adorable.
But yeah, I haven't seen Mr. Ginger.
Scarecrow also hasn't seen Mr. Ginger. Cece will never see Mr. Ginger again. Her bear is named Toto is my theory. It could be. That would make a lot of sense.
Cece, don't cry. I'm with a foo to find Mr. Shen, and I can help ask about Mr. Ginger's whereabouts for you. I like the pose she's got.
Yeah.
When did Mr. Ginger go missing? So Mr. Ginger's related to the murder,
last
yeah.
night.
Last night again. Is this just a coincidence? Mr. Ginger did it. Can you describe Mr. Ginger's appearance?
Mr. Ginger is wearing an orange shirt and had white gloves on.
There's a stuffed cat.
That's cute. It could be a real cat that just has white
Could be
paws.
a real person.
His eyes were big, his ears were pointed, and his tail was long.
Oh. Mr. Ginger has pointed ears and a long tail. Did you think
Mr.
this was
Ginger
a person?
is a devil.
Cece, is the Mr. Ginger you mentioned the cat on the wall poster? Yeah, what did you think this was?
Yes, Mr. Ginger's my favorite cat.
I see. I will keep an eye out for him.
Really? I'm going to tell Mr. Tin Woodman about this good news.
Like, you call your grandpa that?
I guess so. Cece, it's time for breakfast. Coming!
Let's go.
Better not be using a
Let's
soft
find
cat
the
for nefarious deeds.
Let's find the two misters.
I think it is a real cat, though.
It's like, the thing is, wearing an orange shirt
I think she
feels
just
like...
means that it's an orange cat with white paws.
Yeah, but it's a weird way to say that.
So
like,
it is just
she didn't say what was your cat she didn't say what was the cat wearing. She said what did he look like, and she's like, oh, he was wearing this shirt.
I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty, and maybe not super common, but a pretty normal way for a child to think of a cat.
I don't know. Is that the same child from the... The child in the end is either the same person or has the same model as the dumpling seller's small kid from the...
Yeah, I saw a kid earlier by the docks who looked like that. I think maybe that's just like a child model.
It could be reuse. But like...
Yeah, I don't know.
The theater's empty. There's no one here. Are we gonna look around first? The Yuki Magic Troupe's Wonderful Hand Series magic is currently in hot performance. Showtime is from 7:30 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. So during the Magician Julia is about to subvert
Someone's
your
gonna use that as an alibi, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
Finally,
here.
the magician girl did it. Shen mentioned 2 days ago about watching the magic together.
She did invite us.
Yeah, she did. Cause we saved her.
Yeah.
I think I voiced her.
Yeah, I think we should probably switch though, because you're just voicing everyone
switch.
in the scene, yeah.
Switch.
Fu?
Wait, how did you know my name? Julia, long time no see. How have you been?
How do you know her?
Yeah.
Wait, we were literally like telling her this story. Did we tell her about how the magician girl was Julia?
She's like, yeah, I didn't mention.
Kosin, it's been long since you last came to watch the performance.
So tell us about your suspicious brother, by the way. The one who's not currently in prison, exile, whatever. I was on a business trip to Hangyang and just came back to follow the theft case.
This phantom.
Are they doing the thefts? Are they the phantom? I bet they're the Phantom.
Mysterious.
I bet Liang Xin noped off with his money, like that son of a bitch he is, and now they are thieving to pay the rent. Once things settle down, I'll come find you for a tea. Afu, don't you recognize the magician Julia?
No, like, she figured out that was who it was in the story, but Afu doesn't.
Are you... Yinshu!
2 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Are you here because of Mr. Shen?
Oh. Have you seen Shen?
You don't know? Uh-oh. He was arrested here last night.
That was nice of the cops to tell us that.
Yeah. Arrested here?
Arrested?
Why was he here?
He's like, I need an alibi. I need to go to a magician. Arrested?
During the intermission of the performance last night, about 8:30, I saw him in the lobby.
This guy kind of looks like Toby. So they just straight
There
up
were
lied.
police officers in the lobby, and a detective. They surrounded Mr. Shen.
Okay, so the note he saw. Because
you went to a
8:30
locker.
leaves a decent amount of time. There was a key on the table.
Yeah. The key was
So
probably
I'm
to
not
that locker.
sure. I'm not sure what accounts for the jump in time, but I think the note was something like the proof about your brother's case is in this locker,
Yeah.
and there's a gun in there, and he just picks up the gun like an idiot.
Yep. Classic.
Classic frame up.
Mr. Shen was holding a gun in his hand, and the policeman dared not approach him.
A gun? How could Shen have a gun? If even you didn't know, how could Julia know? Well, because she was there.
Later, the Indian sergeant ordered Mr. Shen to put down his weapon. After Mr. Shen dropped his gun, the police tied him up and took him away.
Not shown, rope. Also,
Yeah.
that looks like Toby in the back.
I didn't see.
Did Mr. Shen say anything at the time?
Mr. Shen remained silent throughout,
Oh,
and his face looked very pale.
fear. The hyoid bone thing again.
I tried to inquire about why Mr. Shen was arrested, but the police remained tight-lipped.
He's got the hyoid bone again. Afu's gonna need to do surgery on Shen
Oh my
now.
god.
It seems like we need to go to the police station and find out more about the situation. Yin Shu, was this warning line set up by the police?
Also, I just have to say, I love the typo of Mile Edgeworth. Just a single
Yes.
mile.
A single, the discount Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, knock off Miles Edgeworth.
The we have Miles Edgeworth at home
Yes.
Miles Edgeworth.
Yep.
Oh yeah, was this warning line set up by the police?
They said it's evidence and must be preserved as it is.
Let's just trust the magicians not to mess with it.
If there's anything I can help with, feel free to ask me.
Thank you, Yinshu. It's still early in the morning. The ticket seller hasn't started working yet, Toby.
Alright, I guess that's it.
Toby?
Hello?
Toby Chin,
Yep.
why did you take our picture? See, it's literally him.
And
Afu's
she
like,
she
I
just
know
knows
that
him.
name.
Yeah.
Afu's like, I know that name from the murder board.
Hmm.
Why did you take our picture?
Interesting. I guess I'll...
Whoever, I guess. There's gonna be a point where I guess we have to start switching off again, but like...
Yeah. I'll do this guy then.
Alright.
Oh! Isn't this reporter Wen? Sorry, I was so focused on taking pictures of the theater gate that I didn't notice you coming out.
Why were you taking pictures of the theater gate?
To supplement some image material for the big news last night. What is he doing
Yesterday's
here?
big
Like,
news.
when did he get back to China?
Yeah. Toby.
Was he
Were
also
you at the
involved? Is
scene
it
when
was
Mr.
it just
Shen
like
was-
a whole conspiracy? Just everyone's in on it?
Everyone was in on it. Except for maybe the landlady.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely true that they're like, oh yeah, we interviewed a whole bunch of people and none of them saw those guys. And it's like, well, conspiracy. Were you at the scene when Mr. Shen was arrested?
Yes, not only was I at the scene, but I also captured a very important moment.
Good, that means we get to beat you up for the evidence. Can I see that photo?
Of course not. This is big news, and I plan to do follow-up reports. I won't disclose any details.
Kosin, I feel like I've seen Toby Cheng somewhere before.
You mean apart from in the conspiracy board?
I think he's just placing the conspiracy board. He's a senior reporter in our press, always thinking I'm competing with him for headlines.
When the heck did he become a senior reporter? 3 years ago, he was, like, doing
was
some kind
in
of research in
England.
London.
He got kicked off a project. He's a failure. Maybe you've read his articles before. Oh, and he just vanished into the air.
Let's talk to her.
I remember her. She's a store assistant at the foreign goods store, and her name is Ting Xiang. Well, let's just ask and see. Perhaps she knows some information. Miss Ting.
I feel like I should just take all the random side characters since you're
Go for it.
voicing both of the main
We'll figure out
leads this
who's
case.
important later.
Is it uncomfortable for everyone with me standing here? I'll leave right away.
Relax. I'm a Shanghai news journalist. We're investigating the incident this morning. Miss Ting, I wonder if you would be willing to help?
Well, she has some kind of like red marks on her arms. What is that?
Yeah, so I think that she looks...
It looks like she's
okay,
been like
she could be
scratching
nervous.
them.
Yeah, she could be nervous in general, but she
Yeah.
could also, again, if Stone Wu was involved in smuggling opium, she might have had access. She could be in withdrawal. She could be trying
Yeah.
to quit. She could be actively using.
Yeah. But yeah, I wonder if, you know, she has some kind of like a rash or something, or if she's just been like scratching at her arms.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Well, I may
Yeah,
not be
I
able to
mean,
help
some kind
anymore.
of getting roughed up is possible,
If she's
unfortunately.
been abused, yeah, it is also possible.
Ting Xiang, would you like to introduce yourself first?
I'm not worth mentioning at all. I only bring misfortune to others. My parents smoked opium. I saved money to buy a cessation drug, but after they took it, they all...
I mean, that kind of makes me think that she would stay away from it herself, but you can't really
Yeah.
control addiction, so...
Yes.
A month ago, I was working at the Taiping Hotel. A customer who was allergic to peanuts, and My boss heard that the customer was from the Green Gang. He packed up and ran away overnight.
What is...
A week ago, I started working at a bakery run by the British. A car crashed into the wall. The collapsing wall hit him right on the back of his head.
Oh god. He's just one of those characters.
Yeah,
A few days ago, I finally got a job at the foreign goods store, but then the boss, I feel like I'm constantly surrounded by misfortune.
these things are not your fault.
Oops, sorry.
Yep. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was like looping around to the... Yeah. Ting Xiang, did you happen to see the man who visited the foreign goods store with me last night?
No. After you left, I didn't see him again.
But Stone Wu arranged to meet him at 8 p.m. in the study room of the store.
After Sergeant Singh came by yesterday, my boss decided to close early, so I went home after work. As the boss spoke, he also glanced at me a little more. He must be disliking me. I should have walked away on my own earlier.
So you didn't see Mr. Shen?
No, I didn't.
Were you the first to discover the body?
Yes.
Are you willing to talk about the process of discovering the body?
My boss's glance haunted me endlessly.
What's your
decided to
method
arrive
for
early
discovering the
today
body?
and behave well.
Do you, like, just let it randomly happen to you, or do you seek it out?
Yep.
When I arrived, I found the front door unlocked, so I went in to see if we had been robbed. After entering, I felt something was wrong. The study door should have been closed. I went in to check the study room, but I saw the boss lying in a pool of blood. There was a hole in his body. It was so terrifying.
I see there's
But
a
he
bruise
also
on
has
his
a bump
head
on
too,
his
yeah.
head. Yeah. Yeah. Is there any other information?
Officer Lee said that the boss might have provoked the Green Gang.
Which is why they arrested Shen.
I'm thinking, could it be those deceased bosses coming to claim my life?
Yeah, there was also a hole in the rug. I was wondering if that was from, like, the bullet going through him and into the floor, or if that was a separate bullet hole.
Yeah, because he was in the...
Because I think...
He was on the floor. He was already lying down.
Yeah.
The Green Gang was actually looking for me.
I don't know what that's supposed to be, but...
I think she literally says, woo, woo, woo. I'm so
Of course.
excited about it.
Woo.
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 Miss Ting, don't think too much about it. That's all I wanted to ask. Thank you, Miss Ting.
Did what I said really help you?
It was helpful. Actually, this information is quite important.
It seems I can't be of help to anyone.
We just said it was helpful, though.
Can we at least check to see if that child is someone we know? Ah.
Oh.
Okay.
The train!
Should we take the tram? It's a tram, not a train. I heard this is the first tram with tracks in Jiangnan. So actually, it's really cute that the tram was the thing. And he's like, yeah, you love machinery, you'll love this. You can also enjoy the scenery of the Huangpu River along the way. But...
He wants to see it with Shen?
I was gonna go with Shen. Taking the tram is faster than walking, and it can save us some time.
Where are we going?
Want to try it? My treat. I would assume to the place where Shen got arrested to.
Yeah, this isn't like
our fast travel.
The icons aren't like a move on or go back, so I want to go later, but let me go later.
Forget it. I don't feel like enjoying the scenery before seeing
Wait, no,
Shen.
are they just gonna, no! They're not just gonna skip us to there without going on the tram, are they? That would be horrific.
I hope not.
Okay, good.
No. See?
I wanted to make sure that there isn't anything else to see here. Well, there wasn't. We already passed by this way and didn't see anything, so I think we're done. Actually, before I forget. Oh, actually. Although, I wanted to just save, but actually now that I look at the time, maybe we should start thinking about when to wrap up anyway.
Yeah. My thought was probably when we get to the police station, that'll probably be a next big chunk of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be... Oh, wait, hang on. Let's see, theater stop. Oh, I think this is probably just summoning the tram.
Yeah.
Oh, we can...
So we can
I think if we go this way, we can just walk there. Or we can take the tram. So we should probably just take the tram. But yeah, it might be reasonable to just leave that for next time then. I don't want to risk triggering plot by going too far. Alright, yeah, I think that's going to be a good place to stop. Yep. Alright. Let me just...
Alright.
Just make sure I double check that save. Okay, yeah. That chapter 5 was pretty short. So, we're on to case 6, which I'm assuming is going to be the last one, probably? Well, we're going to have to solve this murder, and then we're going to have to go back to solving the confined room mystery.
Finally solve our brother's thing.
Yeah.
And it looks like this might be in a foo spotlight. Because
yeah, this is a fun setup. Shen getting
unless we can get Shen
arrested,
out of jail.
And yeah. I wonder if at some point we're going to go back to, like, play through Shen's part?
Probably. Like, that would be cool. But, yeah, like,
getting some thought, yeah.
Given they had introduced here's how I met a foo, and then a foo was barely in it, I am really happy to see a foo get some spotlight. Like, these are all probably just going to remain a foo questions.
Yeah.
But we're solving the case through him, which is fun.
Alright.
Finally, I get to voice things.
Yes. Yes, it's a Luke episode.
It's a Luke episode. Everything's coming up Luke.
Yep. Alright, well, thank you guys for coming and enjoying this game with us. We'll be back next week then.
Yep, see you Tuesday.
Continue this investigation. Alright. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.
See you guys later. Bye.